Hi there, welcome to Tarotland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Virgo energy, and the top row is going to be high vibe Virgo energy, the bottom row is going to be a more worldly, shadowy Virgo energy. We've all got our dualistic nature. Some people could be struggling within themselves. They might want to live their life differently, but when we are going to take action to live our life differently, we have to quit living our life the old way. There might be jobs and friendships and relationships we need to distance ourselves from. Might be certain habits, indulgences, ways of viewing life that we would have to give up or start taking action in life differently. And some people are really struggling within themselves. But for other people, there's going to be some people that are done with the debate and they're moving forward in life differently. And when they do that, there's going to be some other people in their life and in the world who aren't moving forward in that way. And some of those people could be mad, could be sad, but everybody hopefully is living their authentic truth and what's true to them. And sometimes what we're motivated and inspired by and how we want to live life is different than how some other people want to live their life. And we just need to see the truth of it, because Virgo energy is about what we're kind of motivated and inspired to invest our time, energy, and effort into based on how we view life, what our long-term goals are. High Vibe Virgo is about wanting to deal with the truth of things, to grow to your full potential, to free yourself from the things that manipulate you. And for other people, they're okay. They don't feel they need to free themselves from those things. You have to be inspired to even want to see the truth and deal with the truth, or heal or grow or mature yourself. And some people aren't, and we just need to see the truth of that. So what's going on in Virgo energy? The reason for the bottom row's reading is focus. So their focus, some people in the world are focused on what they want to invest in. The only card showing in their reading is the attraction card. Maybe they're in fiery energy. We all can have lessons learned in life. Some people might have some lessons learned. Their fiery nature could be driving their actions. And I think we kind of go off to the edge like, oh my gosh, my heart's running my life. And the rest of our life could kind of go in disarray and in the toilet because, oh my gosh, the most important thing is what I lust for, what I want, And so worldly shadowy energy can be, we just got some lessons learned. And some people could be having to learn some lessons maybe in their fiery nature. And some other people have already kind of driven their life off into the ditch, letting their more fiery nature, my things that motivate and inspire me, my lust, my greed, my pride, my ego, all these things that I want to go do in the world. And some people have already learned that if I let just one aspect of myself kind of run the show, I have these other aspects to myself. In tarot, we have the 4 suits of the deck: the heart, the mind, the fiery, passionate, creative, inspired nature, and then our practical, grounded pentacle nature. And as we learn lessons in life, if we learn lessons in life, we learn that all aspects of ourself are important. If we let 1, 2, or 3 aspects of ourself kind of run the show, we're kind of tipped out of balance. And that's also what shadowy energy is about, being tipped out of balance. And the more we learn lessons in life, the more we learn that I need to take into consideration all these aspects of myself. And I can't let one or more aspects of myself run the show like as if some other aspects of my life, oh, you're less important. Some people, Virgo energy can be, I'm really focused and attracted to, say, indulging in these things of the world, or wanting to be viewed as attractive, or wanting other people to invest in me, to love me and validate my worth and value, or I make those things of the world that I'm attracted to the most important thing in my life. That, I think, is the answer to being happy. But they could be disregarding some other aspects of themselves, and I think they'll learn in time that if I don't go about things in a more balanced manner and be willing to learn lessons in life and grow and heal and mature myself, my life's going to keep staying out of balance, and I probably won't. I might get the things that I'm focused on, but these other aspects of myself, I will come to learn, were important to nurture and value and respect. And, when we have some lessons to learn, there's all these things we need to go learn lessons about. And some people have learned those lessons and some people haven't. The reason for the top rose reading is the void. And the void can be where we're not as influenced. We're kind of maybe aligning with our truth, which can be our soul and our intuition, not having all these outside influences kind of manipulate us. Let's go back to the bottom row. We have 3 cards not showing themselves, and that can be things that people are rejecting within themselves. And they might not want people to know that they are kind of disregarding those aspects of themselves as being less important, because they're really going to learn some lessons about what it means to kind of go out on the edge of these things that we think are important to us. And I think they're rejecting harnessing these energies in a more high vibrational way, and they're harnessing them in a more shadowy way, and they don't want people to know that. Resilience, self-love, and boundaries. Well, we all got lessons to learn. The resilience card, because this person is carrying a heavy burden of the world. It can be all these, it's like the 10 of Wands, all these things that we want in the world to go like indulge in. But are we willing to grow up and like mature ourselves in our Virgo nature that yes, there are these things I want to go indulge in the world, but I have to go about it in a more balanced way, a more wise way, not so much letting my more immature, indulgent nature just run my life off into the ditch. And we'd have to be willing to learn lessons in life and temper and have good boundaries within ourselves. So with this card seeming like the 10 of Wands, high vibe 10 of Wands is having good boundaries. I do have my more worldly nature, my more worldly emotional nature. I can have these illusions about myself and the world and love, or illusions about myself. And the self-love could be something they haven't got balance between, and maybe in Sagittarius energy. I want these things of the world. I really want these things of the world. But we can go try to pursue those things of the world that we want, but are we taking action from self-love? To protect ourselves, to love ourselves, to respect ourselves, and protect our more emotionally authentic nature, So I guess maybe because the opposite sign of Virgo is Pisces, maybe the focus card would be about being more balanced. The void card is, again, the moon in tarot it's the ruling planet of Cancer, which is the emotional water sign energy of love. The moon in tarot can represent Pisces energy. that we need to get more balanced within ourselves, and some people aren't very balanced within themselves. They want these things of the world. They're kind of caught up maybe in the illusion of the world, maybe have illusions about love, and they're going to go out on a journey to learn some lessons. And shadowy energy can be where we're in more codependent energy because we haven't learned to love ourselves. And we have lessons to learn about having boundaries. We can have illusions that everybody wants to do love, and that if we love something and we love someone, of course they're going to love us. And then we can realize that we can be attracted to people, we can want to be in a relationship with people, but why do we want so badly to be in those relationships? And part of it can be because we're in our more codependent energy, kind of overwhelmed, wanting these things of the world, but we haven't learned to love ourselves. And so because of that, we can end up getting in some relationships with people who are happy that we have these illusions of love, happy that we haven't learned to love ourselves, because they'll be willing to be in a relationship with us. They'll be happy to indulge in a relationship with us because we haven't learned to love ourselves. And they could try to limit us and control us and manipulate us because we haven't learned to stand up for ourselves and have good boundaries within ourselves. And we've all been naive and gullible and think everybody wants to do love, but not everybody does want to do love. Other people just kind of do want to indulge themselves in a relationship. They also maybe haven't learned to love themselves and have good boundaries within themselves. So then we can be drawn and attracted to certain people because we both could have lessons to learn about tempering our more worldly nature. And we come into contact with all these different people to heal and grow and mature ourselves and learn these lessons. And sometimes when we get in those relationships, some people could have been really overwhelmed and they hadn't learned to love themselves and respect themselves and have good boundaries within themselves and had these illusions about love, and then they get in a relationship with someone, and then that can provide a foundation for us to start doing some of this work within ourselves. And just, we can be on the same page. We both can have some issues and things going on in our life that were kind of overwhelming us. And then we're kind of looking for people who are on the same page as us. They're overwhelmed by the things they're overwhelmed by. We're overwhelmed by some of the things we're overwhelmed by. The Ten of Wands can represent that we want to move forward, but because we have some lessons to learn, we actually could be repeating an old pattern, and it could be that more codependent energy of looking for someone to love us and believe in us and nurture us because we haven't learned to listen to our own intuition and love and believe in ourselves. And then when we get in that relationship, we can harness these energies differently, and that's what the cards not showing themselves can mean. We get in relationships with people, we're attracted to people, we want to have a dream come into reality. That's Pisces energy, is emotionally I have a dream I want to bring into reality. And we get drawn and attracted to certain people because we have lessons learned from each other. Sometimes we're harnessing these energies in the same way. Sometimes we're harnessing them differently. And then with the different people that we get in relationship with, if we're both people who, yes, we could have been overwhelmed. Yes, we could have wanted to move forward. Yes, we could have been repeating some old patterns because we hadn't learned to love and believe in ourselves. But if we get in relationships with people who are on the same page, they also are inspired to kind of wrap their brain around this game of life. And they're willing to do this work within themselves. And when we get in relationships with new people, it provides, that we have this stability and security, and people that are kind of on the same page as us in our emotional level, our maturity level. we do this work within ourselves to work through some of our issues to free ourselves from some of them. But we can get in relationships with people that don't do that, even though they also were provided with a foundation, working with people who are kind of on the same page as them, that provide them some stability and security and encouragement and love that would give them the opportunity to do this work. Some people still, well, no, I don't do that. And so then we can get in relationships with some people that, kind of look to get in relationships with people for them to feel more stable, grounded, balanced within themselves, but they don't ever plan to do this work within themselves. And they could look to getting in relationships with other people, kind of like, that's your job. I have a problem with these issues. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know how to love myself. I'm defensive to aligning with my more hopeful, believing, loving nature. That's why I got in a relationship with you. You harness a more high vibrational Virgo energy than I might. And I look to other people to invest in me to make me feel better, or to indulge me in my ego, or temper my fears and my insecurities and my self-limiting beliefs. But they don't ever do this work within themselves to kind of grow and heal and mature themselves, even when they are in supportive and encouraging, kind of we're on the same page, but they might want to stay on that page. Whatever overwhelm, fears, insecurities, lack of self-love, self-limiting beliefs, defensiveness, I don't plan to work through those, and they may never plan to work through those. And they could be someone who's hoping to find someone who's on the same page as them with that, which I guess we all see all sorts of different people in the world and how they choose to want to live their life. They have a certain way of living their life where I don't want to look at the things I keep hidden in the dark. And they can get in relationships with people, and because that's how they view life, they assume that's how other people want to live their life. And then when other people they get in relationship with do some of this work within themselves to look at some of those things that they keep hidden in the dark, like past pain and heartbreak, fears, insecurities, self-limiting beliefs, and some of those people do that work within themselves, and they're kind of ready to go to kind of step into unknown territory and start listening to their intuition and believing in themselves and facing their fears to go to the next phase of life. That can be where there's a problem in a relationship. And, both people will probably start to feel like I'm in a mismatched relationship. How they want to keep living their life, how I want to keep living my life, how I want to move forward, how they want to move forward is different. Some people could be very attractive. Knight of Pentacles can be people who've put in a lot of work and effort into having, it can be their looks, it could be their fitness, it could be how amazing they are in bed, it could be their social grace, it could be their social clout, their social skills, it could be money, it could be status, it could be image, it could be power. And some people think if they have those things, that's enough. I don't have to do this work within myself. There's going to be people who are going to want to be in a relationship with me because I have those things of the world. Virgo is pentacle energy, things in the 3D world. I'm charming, I'm attractive, I look like I'm going to have these things of the world. I'm going to be a king of pentacles. People are going to want to hire me, be in a relationship with me, marry me. And some people could, though, be hiding the fact that they feel very overwhelmed because they could keep their more authentic, emotionally hopeful, believing nature kind of imprisoned because we have free will. I can align with that aspect within myself, and that can be the guiding factor and my truth in how I move forward in life. But people have free will, and some people are like, no, not that. I'm going to use these things of the world that I have. I think I can use these to manifest my dreams into reality. And these are the things I'm going to work with. This is my truth. And so they reject kind of wanting to wrap their brain around this game of life and be inspired to heal and grow and mature themselves. And again, they could keep their more emotionally loving, intuitive, creative, inspired nature kind of in the back seat. Their more worldly, egoic nature is driving their vessel, their vehicle, their life. And they think this is a just and fair way to live. It's how they view life. And it is true that if some people have these things of the world, there's some people that are willing to stay in a relationship with them for those reasons, if they really value those things also. I really want to be in a relationship with someone who's really attractive. In my opinion, you're really attractive. Okay, I'll be in a relationship with you because that's what's important to me. And so they're kind of more worldly, superficial, shallow people. Oh, you have status, clout, or power, influence, or money. Yeah, I'll stay in a relationship with you because you have those things. Because those things are more important to me than maybe a deep, meaningful, loving relationship. Or I gave up my dreams of love, and I don't know if I'm ever going to meet the person that I really want to be in a relationship with. I'll stay in a relationship with you for those things. Sometimes the shadowy people are hiding that they did have people in their life who were, since this card is kind of like out of the water and in the water, they could have had people in their life who were more balanced within themselves emotionally, not tipped out of balance into their more indulging kind of poor behavior in themselves, where they indulge other people in poor behavior or just being in poor behavior. And it could have been somebody they were really attracted to and would have maybe liked to move forward with, could have moved forward with them in some shape or form, thought dreams were going to come into reality with that person. But that person was inspired to do this inner work, to love themselves and to listen to their intuition. And life-giving energy is about going through these phases of life where you detach from some old ways of being and thinking and viewing life and viewing relationships and expand your perception of yourself and the world around you and what you believe is possible. Just like we did age 15 to age 18 to age 21 to age 25, and we let go of some more kind of immature ways of viewing life or self-centered views of life or egotistical or something in order to keep working together with other people, challenging ourselves to face our fears to go to the next phase of life. And we continue to grow and mature ourselves and add to our foundation, realizing what needs to go. It had its time and place. I used to live my life like that. I used to view life like that. I used to view relationships like this. But shadowy energy is it's keeping us kind of stuck and stagnant in a way. Like we've lived our life at that phase of life. There's nothing new to learn there. Then we could kind of look at kind of the focus card could be kind of like a 5 of Cups card where, you know, at one time when we live a certain phase of life, it's like, oh my gosh, this is like my dream come true. I'm so happy to live my life that way. That could have been when it was full. But as we live through a phase of life, you know, it starts to wane because that's the indicator that it's time for us to start doing this work to get ready for like the next phase of life. But sometimes some people can be focused more on the things they'd have to give up if they were to move forward in life differently than focusing on the things that they could be filled up with if they were to align with some hope and faith and belief and love. And they could have had some people in their life who were willing to keep moving forward in life. They could still be attracted to those people, could want to be in a relationship with those people, but they themselves weren't willing to do this work within themselves about why don't I love and believe in myself, to step out of my comfort zone, to deal with some of the things that overwhelm me. Why do I let my fear or my insecurity or the world or other people in my life, why do I let those people, or even just my more immature nature, my more codependent nature, why am I more codependent? Why don't I love myself? Why do I make my life about my worth and my value and what I wear and what I drive to define me? How about I love myself? And I'm so much more than that. What I wear, what I drive. But worldly energy can be, that is how I define my worth and value. I think what makes me valuable is what I look like, what I wear, what I drive, how much money I make. We're so much more than that. But some people really get caught up in that. And that is how they define their worth and value. And they sadly could think that's what makes them valuable or important to other people. And sometimes those people get in relationships with people who want to move forward with them, love them, would be willing to work together with them, but they kind of haven't learned to love themselves. And then they can feel overwhelmed in a relationship with someone who does love and believe in them, because they're kind of rejecting that within themselves. It's like, no, you need to reject that within me too, because I reject that within myself. And I'm not willing to figure out why I reject that. So therefore then I'm kind of going to reject you because I haven't learned to love myself. And we can't make other people love themselves and stand up for themselves and do this work within themselves. And some of these people have had loving people who are no longer in their life because those people did probably felt like they did everything they could. And then we got to deal with the truth. If you were motivated and inspired to deal with those things, you would. But because you're not, you live your life making your life about these things, or your defensive nature, or focused on the past and regrets of the past, or wanting to go indulge in whatever you want to go indulge in that makes you think that's the answer. And that's not how I live my life or how I want to live my life. And how you want to live your life is different than how I want to live my life. And the high vibe people were willing to see the truth of it. And they weren't willing to keep staying in something. You know, if people are both moving forward in high vibe energy and they're growing and healing and maturing themselves, they keep taking action out of love and hope and faith and treating other people the way they want to be treated. But shadowy energy can be, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to try to manipulate you and control you to get you to maybe stay in the relationship with me. Like, I might use these things that you like about me, and it could even be your own love that you have for me. I'm going to use the love that you have to try to manipulate you to keep staying in this relationship, even though you're seeing that I am unwilling to change. I had the free will choice to invest time and energy to work through my issues, but I'm not willing to. But because you love me, won't you stay in it? Or because I might have these certain traits, characteristics, or assets about me, won't you stay because you want those things of the world too? And even just that you want to be in a relationship? Are you going to stay in a relationship with people? You know, shadowy Five of Cups can be where they're not really working together with you from love, but, you know, you'd have to go into unknown territory. You'd have to go find a new job, a new friend, a new romantic relationship. And we can find ourselves in those workplaces or relationship situations where someone is trying to keep us in a situation, but we could feel that they're trying to manipulate us or control us or in some way to keep us staying there, hoping that we won't love and believe in ourselves enough, that we'll kind of settle for this more, whatever it is, and we'll just stay there anyway. And some people are like, I can't stay here because I find it restricting and confining and limiting and oppressive. You know, our shadow nature at the big picture is represented by the devil, and it's all these things that try to restrict us from giving birth to something new and loving and believing in ourselves, shining our authentic light, being more independent in the world, not letting these things manipulate us. And we could be in relationships with people that do let those things manipulate them, or other people, or the world, or ego, or image, or money, or addiction, or whatever it is. And we can love them, but eventually it's like, I'm not free to be my authentic self here, because the things that manipulate you, you want to have, let those manipulate me, but those things don't manipulate me. They maybe did at one time, but I think it's about growing and healing and shedding some of your baggage and working through it so you can be free of it. High vibe energy is about being free. Free to live your authentic life. I'm going to work through these layers of my worldly fears, insecurities, self-limiting beliefs about my own worth and value and loving and believing in myself. I don't want to carry that shit around all my life, but some people keep carrying it around and they're very overwhelmed. Some of them have too much self-love, where they're very in love and think that everybody else should love them the way they love them. They're the center of their universe, and other people should make them the center of their universe. And other people are like, you're not the center of my universe. I have my own life. I have my own unique talents, skills, interests, dreams, desires in life of things I want to accomplish. And some people are like, oh no, you're supposed to give those all away. You're supposed to want to move forward with me and love me the way I love me. And you're supposed to not listen to your intuition anymore and give up on your dreams. And, you know, I have these things of the world. You're supposed to want to be in a relationship with me and make your life all about me. And they're unwilling to see through the illusion of it. And for some, they can't understand why some people don't keep indulging them in their ego and staying in a relationship with them. And then some people, maybe as time goes by, they could also learn some lessons in life. And then some people are just social climbers in a way. It's like, oh, wow, I got in a relationship with these people. I learned how they do things. I did learn how to be maybe a more patient, mature, stable, grounded person. And now I'm going to take my show on the road, you know? Shadowy energy. It was really just about me and my wants and my needs and my lust and my greed and my pride and ego. And now that I could have gotten in relationships with some people, it could make me seem more appealing to other people because maybe that relationship made it seem like I had certain traits and qualities and characteristics that some of these people never had. I mean, they might have gotten more skilled or something in certain areas, but they don't inherently embody it within themselves. It's like people who just learned living more from their mind than their heart. I learned more skills, traits, characteristics from the people I was in relationship with. It's not like I'm authentically doing any of these things. These are just part of the algorithm of myself and my facade I present to the world. Because shadowy energy can be just people creating an illusion Shadowy Pisces can be, I'm creating this illusion about the type of person I am. I want people to view me as a high vibe person. But all I've done is like a computer who's taken all these different traits and characteristics and lessons I've learned from different people to create this hologram of who I am in the world. And then I try to go out in the world and present that as being the authentic truth to who I am. But they're like a shell of a person. It really has no substance. It's all illusion and facade. And some other people could have seen the truth of that. And those people didn't want to be in a relationship with someone who tries to use their things of the world to tempt people like the devil does to stay in relationship with them because of these things of the world. It's like, well, that's kind of superficial and shallow. There's no substance there. I want to go find the people who aren't creating an illusion, maybe who are the real deal. But there can always be a part of us because we love those people or because we're attracted to those people, and we can all be tempted in our worldly nature to settle for the illusion and kind of, you also could have dealt with someone who kind of looks at life as a cup half full, or they always look at it maybe as it's always a cup half empty. Maybe that's it. You know, the high vibe people replenish themselves and they know how to fill themselves up. And it's always an attitude of maybe that analogy or that saying of, it's just a cup half full. They always look to the more optimistic side of things. Other people could have a more pessimistic, shadowy view of life. And for some people, shadowy energy is kind of our more me, greedy, selfish, I want nature. And for some people, kind of enough is never enough. And I want more. I want more attention. I want more money. I want someone to indulge me more. And then it can be, if people don't seem to be indulging me enough, or it doesn't seem like in my competitive worldly nature that I have what other people have, and maybe I don't love and believe that I can manifest that into reality, I know I'm going to go try to create an illusion about why I got out of one situation to go get in another situation, because enough is never enough. And some of those people, you know, it's also the reason why the reading came up for the top row. Some people are like a black void, and you saw the truth of it. Enough is never enough. You know, the people who want to be indulged in a relationship, that's their shadowy energy. You know, and some people, they think that will make them happy, just like some people overindulge in drugs and alcohol because they think that is the answer to their problems. All these different things that people can indulge in their shadowy nature can be like an addiction. If it's money and materialism, it's never enough money and materialism. Well, I don't have enough status and image. I'm not getting enough attention. And it probably all boils down to some people being very self-centered, like a black void. They want everything to be about them. And if it's not all about them, then they want to go find someone who will make it all about them. And there's some people you can't be loving and encouraging and supportive enough because no one can do that for another person. And some people think you should. And if they start to feel like some of their issues bubble up, well, you were supposed to be the answer to my problems. You didn't do your job because I made that your job because I didn't take responsibility for it myself. And if my issues start to bubble up, I'm looking to you, high vibe people, to give to me, to nurture me. And it's like, oh my gosh, you know, you want to deplete me completely? Like my life is supposed to be completely about your life? What about we both take responsibility for maintaining balance within ourselves? And you do some work within yourself to work through some of your issues yourself instead of continuing to try to fix a problem that's existed since the beginning, but they refuse to take responsibility for it. So for some people, it could be that. Let's go look at the top row. So some people could realize they were dealing with people who were void of love, weren't who they said they were. They had no substance, no character, integrity, all consumed about themselves. Or that they completely want to block out the sun, and they want you to stay in it anyway. We're not going to illuminate the truth. We're not going to be loving and warm and encouraging and authentic and supportive and encouraging, but you're supposed to stay anyway. And some people were like, no. There might have been a lot of things that from my mind and in my ego with the mask that I could have wanted to stay in it for, but I don't think my dreams are ever going to come into reality is what my intuition's telling me. It's never going to get more balanced, more just, more fair, more authentic, more loving, more mature. And it's kind of like stepping out of the illusion to go into the sunlight. I'm going to give myself the things that I wish other people would have given me. Kind of high, like an ace of wands. I want to be in life-giving energy. I'm going to choose to be loving and encouraging and supportive and compassionate and forgiving to myself. Give myself the things that maybe some other people aren't giving me. I want to be in the sunlight. I want to be in truth and clarity and authenticity and love and warmth and encouragement. I have seen through the illusion. And I believe in my dreams, and I'm looking at life from a higher perspective, imagining the future that I want and how I want to invest my time, energy, and effort. And in the creation card, I want to give birth to my dreams. I'm not willing to settle for the illusion. And maybe going through this purification process where, when we get clear about our truth, kind of represented by the sword of truth. A sword has to go through the fire and pounded and sharpened and honed to get to be sharp. And I think the people who, now this card, the void card's kind of reminding me of Virgo hermit energy, where we take time alone, away from outside influences, to take this time to get clear about our truth. Do I love myself? Do I believe in myself? What do I bring to the table? What do I think I contribute to in a relationship? What do I need to change? What do I need to heal? What do I need to mature? And maybe also seeing the truth of different people in our life. Different people in our life were more aligned with their worldly nature. Some people were more loving, giving, just, fair, warm than some other people. Everybody's on this journey of learning lessons. Some people learn much less than other people, and they weren't very loving and giving. And they could have been bossy and controlling and prideful and immature and bossy and controlling. And, there's some people in the world who are very shadowy, and they want us in that energy too. They want us to feel depleted. They want us to give up on our dreams because they gave up on their dreams. They want us to settle for what they settle for, however it is that they're living their life. And some of us, we've already been there and done that. And it's like, I'm not going back to repeat that old pattern. I want to give birth to something new. I don't want to repeat some old pattern. I want to let love and intuition guide my steps every day and I have no idea where it's going. But I've learned a lot of life lessons, and I know I don't want to repeat some of those old patterns. And being in a relationship with certain type of people, so now when I go out in the world and I meet people, if they show me they have these ways of being or traits and characteristics or attitudes that I already know I don't like, they either are people I keep my distance from, or they're just in the friend category and social acquaintances. You know, we got to deal with all sorts of people in the world, at work and in the world and out and about. And generally it's not a big deal because we know that everybody's got their way of living life and way of viewing life. It doesn't mean we can't hang out, socialize, have a drink with people that we know. But am I going to get in a more involved relationship with you? No. Am I going to date you? No. Am I going to marry you? No. If I am dating you, I might get out of it. If I was married to you, I might get out of it. You know, as we go through this process and we see that we're, again, it could have turned out initially, just like friendships and jobs, it can start out great. It's just that sometimes they're mismatched. One person's expecting to move forward like this, the other person's expecting to move forward like this. We have different underlying philosophies of life, of what drives and motivates us. And when we realize that in the relationship, both people could feel like, you know, it could have been great for a while. Some of them still want to stay in it. Other people are like, I don't want to be in it. You don't want to be in it, because we've realized we're motivated and inspired by different things. And some want to grow and heal and mature and step out of their comfort zone. Some want to keep repeating this old pattern, staying in their comfort zone. Maybe in their pride and ego, defensiveness, stubbornness, you know. High five people wish people peace. Doesn't mean they can't be pissed off initially, but, you know, because you can be mad at people if they're unwilling to deal with the truth. And you might see they got some things that manipulate them that they don't want to deal with. And eventually it's like, I see the truth of it. You don't want to deal with these issues. Okay. Peace be with you. I'm moving on. And I'm going to take this time to work through all of this so that I can have this new beginning. I don't want to drag any of this with me. And that takes a long time. We're emotionally complex people. We can have a lot of complex feelings towards people. I hate them. I love them. I don't want to see them. I hope they call today. You know, so it takes this time to really be able to emotionally disentangle ourselves. And it can take time to really get to the truth. And every day you're living your life the way you live your life, and every day they're living their life the way they live their life, the more it clarifies that we're not on the same page. And then I think, you know, you get to a place where you have like that clean slate, no longer with these outside influences to give birth to something new, but you want it not with hidden agendas, not with hidden motives. People have to come in truth, authenticity, love, hope, to go in, create something new that hasn't existed before. And there's some people that you could have your eye on. Some of those people moved on ahead of you, and they've already created that with other people. And we got to see the truth of that. And our dreams aren't dependent on a certain person being in our life. It's just God knows where people are, and everybody's on their own journey. We believe that life's about learning lessons. That the people that we are meant to be in relationship are the people that somehow will, as we go on our journey, we will meet. As you're moving forward, there could be other people having their eye on you. Some of those people, though, don't want to get in relationships with other people, just like you don't want to get in relationships with other people until you're sure they've worked through the emotional confusion. Should I stay? Should I go? It's kind of like, should I stay? Should I go? Should I live more from my mind than my heart? Should I listen to my intuition and have hope and faith and belief in my dreams? Should I stay in my comfort zone? And the whole thing is, you know, we want to be, just like you want to be in relationships with people who are ready on a clean slate. Other people could be looking at you, making sure you're at a clean slate. So, what's going on? What's coming up for people who harness some high vibe Virgo energy that they might not see coming up? Some other loving people that you might know, or shadowy people, either one, they could have had new beginnings and they're watching you go on your journey. Some of them are just presenting themselves as high vibe. They're wondering if you're going to give birth to something new. They could kind of be repeating an old pattern. Other people had new beginnings with other people, and they know you're going to create something new, but they're in loving relationships of their own and hoping to give birth to their own new things, you know. But, okay. We have the Nine of Pentacles sideways because of the Queen of Cups. Well, Nine of Pentacles is Virgo energy. You know, it takes time. I kind of look at things as going clockwise, and the fruition card was sideways, so it takes time, but eventually we kind of get more and more connected in with our truth, with our intuition, feeling abundant and stable and grounded within ourselves emotionally. And that takes time. And then the Nine of Pentacles going in reverse, getting out of our more worldly nature to drive the decisions we're making. Why? Because in the Queen of Cups, Scorpio, emotional water sign energy, we've offered our self-love to go through this process and to get out of our more worldly nature. And maybe with it sideways, you know, same way down here, we could have been in relationships. We could have been kind of going back and forth. Which Virgo type energy do we align with? And people kind of got balanced and kind of got clear about their truth, that it is about being balanced. And maybe even the Nine of Pentacles sideways could be more balanced between your worldly nature and your loving nature. And, you know, yes, there are these things of the world that I want. Yes, I'm taking action to manifest things I want in my world, but I'm letting love and intuition and my desire for authentic, just, fair, loving relationships to be the driving factor for, and aligned with my truth as to why I do what I do. And I think as you do that within yourself, there, you know, maybe that you would meet someone, someone could reach out to you, but that you'll meet people that are kind of on that same page as you in a more balance between shadow and high vibe, where it's like, you know, we do have these things of the world we want, but we also want these things. And that would kind of be the best of all worlds without juggling one or the other. It's like, no, the driving factor is hope and faith and belief and love and intuition is in the driver's seat. So what's coming up? And maybe, you know, the Nine of Pentacles is single, and then in reverse, it could mean that you're not single anymore. There could be some people watching you, and you could be watching some other people, not sure if they're single, not, you know, even just single from another relationship, kind of more independent from things that manipulate them. And it could be getting to know people to figure out where things go. And maybe for some people, it's like, you know, not really being single, being in a relationship, but not really getting married either for some, possibly. You know, and if that's what people want to create and seems best for them, then that could be what they want to create to be best for them. What's coming up for people who harness a more worldly or shadowy Virgo energy that they might not see coming up? The King of Wands, the Nine of Swords, the Seven of Swords. And the reason those came out is because of the Five of Pentacles. Well, some shadowy people right now who kind of might thought people would be attracted to them, and the King of Wands can be male or female, but they can kind of be more about themself in a relationship or kind of controlling in a relationship, or they could be attractive or whatever, and they could have thought they could be kind of distressed right now because some high vibe people keep moving forward, believing in themselves, believing in their dreams. And some people could have thought, no, I know you're attracted to me. I'm going to keep an eye on you. I don't know if you'll keep moving forward. Maybe you'll come back and make me an offer and kind of repeat this old pattern. And what they didn't see coming is that the high vibe people in their life, some of the shadowy people are harnessing shadowy Virgo, Aries, Gemini, Aquarius, because that's kind of their Taurus philosophy of life. I don't think other people will believe in themselves. I think people are more codependent. I think they're attracted to me. I think they love me. I think I can manipulate them. And if the high vibe people already made their offer and spoke their truth, the high vibe people are moving forward. It's like, are you coming with or are you not? Is this your dream or is it not? And now some of those people are getting stressed out because the people in their life aren't just willing to do it the way they wanted to do it. And some of those people are stressed out now, like, I don't know, should I stay here, live my life like this, view life like this? Should I learn to love myself and do this work within myself to become more independent of letting my ego or whatever run my life and align with my more hopeful, believing, loving nature? Some of those people just wanted to be deceptive and manipulative. I want to keep moving forward like this, maybe with whoever I'm aligned with. I just thought I could leave them for a while and maybe indulge in a relationship with you for a little bit. If you felt left out in the cold. Looking to see, are you feeling left out in the cold? If you are, I'll come and present myself as loving to come indulge in a relationship with you. But the high vibe people keep moving forward. It's like, I spoke my truth. This is how I'm moving forward. Are you coming with or not? And if they're not, the high vibe people see the truth of it. If you were motivated and inspired by this and wanting to move forward in your life this way, if you're kind of in something kind of imbalanced or a little shadowy or haven't learned to love yourself, I guess if you're motivated to do that, you would. And if you're not, you're not. And so then the Nine of Pentacles could be that you're kind of letting someone who you thought was single and available to be in a relationship with you, letting them go. You know, and you're continuing to take action, not out of pride, not out of ego, not out of lust and greed, because, you know, there's people in the world that would be more than happy to be in a relationship with you, living your life that way, but it's them where they don't have to illuminate the truth. They don't have to be more authentic. They don't have to be more just and fair. They don't have to get out of their ego or defensive nature. And you're like, you know what? You can stay where you're at. If that's the type of person you are and that's how you want to move forward, you should stay with the people you're in a relationship with. Because apparently you're maybe on the same page, or you should keep living your life like that. I don't want someone coming into my life that isn't on the same page as me. And for some of the shadowy people, they could have some loving people leaving their life. They could have some, you know, the thing is, if people stay in relationships because of their codependency and their fear and their insecurity, or their prideful, egotistical, materialistic nature, if someone comes along who's willing to give them more status, power, money, indulgence, it wasn't love that was guiding the decision anyway for the relationship. Everybody's kind of out for their own best interests. And what some of these people don't see coming is that what they thought was going to work out, this is a good idea, I don't have to do truth and love and be authentic and all that good stuff. I'm sure I can find someone who wants to move forward with me in a relationship. Well, for one, if they do find someone who's willing to move forward with them and stay in a relationship with them that way, they might kind of feel a little left out in the cold, and it's like not a very abundant relationship because that person could be just like them. They're kind of living more from their mind and heart than their heart too. And they're kind of maybe in it for the ego or the image or the status. And nobody's being a very loving, nurturing person. And for some of them, they could have people that, got in the relationship because they had fears and insecurities about moving forward on their own. They did this work within themselves, and now they're ready to move on. Ask them if they want to move on, and they're like, no. And so then the other person moves on without them. Or they get in a relationship with someone who's just codependent and fearful like they are. And they both kind of feel left out in the cold from their dreams because they're not willing to have hope and faith and belief and love themselves, and they settle for the illusion. And they could feel, it's just attracted to these things of the world that keep them in the relationship, or being attracted to someone, and that's fine. It's a just and fair relationship if people are on the same page. That's where they're at. We need different types of folks in the world. We can't have everybody wanting to be president, We can't have all this world is about everybody has free will to create their life whatever way they want. And if they find someone who's on the same page as them, that is a just and fair relationship. It's just that some of the people that were in relationship with them didn't want to keep staying in a relationship like that and keep moving forward like that. And those people went on to create something new. And that's fine too. And the high vibe people are looking, and maybe we'll have some other people who want, Ivy, the Queen of Cups is Scorpio energy, that want to be in deep, meaningful relationships. And they don't want to be independent of them or single from them, because they view these as people that, gee, I could have my dreams come into reality. You're not repeating an old pattern. You're not going to act like whatever and other people I've known, is truth and love, and we're creating our own new thing. That sounds like a little heaven on earth. And some other people might stay in a little hell on earth, but if that's how they want to live their life and where they're at in their life, then that's where they need to be to learn the lessons they need to learn, or free willingly, happily live their life like that. We all got different things that we are willing to compromise on that is in our comfort zone. So we just wish them all peace, love, and joy. And we go find the people who are on the same page as us, and they go find the people that are on the same page as them. So there you go, Virgo energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.